Hi, I'm Teresa from PotomacBeads. Today we will work together on an advanced project. This one I call Crystal Tulip Pendant. You will work with cubic right angle weave stitch and peyote stitch because we will perfectly cover the back of this Potomac crystal navette. We'll be working also with seed beads and that's all you will need. So let's get them up and start working. So today we will work together on my Crystal Tulip Pendant, which is this lovely thing. We'll be working with cubic right angle weave stitch, otherwise CRAW. And this is definitely advanced project, so if you're a beginner, please try first do something simple with cubic right angle weave stitch so you know the ways it is being made, how it behaves and stuff like this. I also already made a video how to bezel with cubic right angle weave stitch Potomac crystal navette, although in different size. The basics are the same. We will be just changing the number of cubes which will go around the navette. Then we will create hopefully together this lovely backside which is protecting the backside of the crystal, and then we will be adding these two ears on the side which then create together with the navette a tulip shaped pendant. So definitely this is an advanced project. If you're a beginner, please try to do something else first. You can try to do something simple, just in a bracelet. Ellie has a video on a cubic right angle weave stitch. Then you can move on to the video how to bezel the crystal navette. Then you can try this one. So definitely please do that first, but don't get discouraged. It's a lovely project with just repetitive steps. You just need to learn and set the right angle weave stitch in your head right, so you can imagine the side, the top, the bottom of the cube. But we want to do this together today, so let's start. So first we will bezel this Potomac crystal navette. This is the larger one, the 18 by 32 millimeter size. I'm using Crystal AB. I chose two contrasting colors so you can see it better. So you'll be doing we will be working with Miyuki 11-0s in two colors. Here the silver one will change into this magenta one, and this zesty green one will change into the golden one. Then we will need also Miyuki 15-0s in both colors, so magenta and gold. And that will be all. Then we will need a size 12 needle and a lot of wildfire thread. You can use something thinner as well. I'm going for wildfire. Size 12 needle because we'll go many times through some beads. So we need the smaller one. I started with arm span long piece of thread. We'll be adding definitely a lot more, so if you prefer to work with something slightly shorter, go for it. But we don't also want too many knots in the project because the knot can hide in a hole of a bead which you might need later, so also it's a trade-off. So let's start. We will be working first on this frame around the navette. We'll be working with 11-0s, the magenta ones first, then we will move on the inside and then adding the highlights on the outside. After that, two more ears on the sides, and after a few hours of work, the pendant will be finished. I didn't add anything here because I want to try to turn this one into a brooch, adding a bridge here, like a bridge pin. We'll see if I manage, otherwise we'll be working with a loop here today. So let's start with the cubic right angle weave part. So to start, add 4 Miyuki 11-0s on your thread, slide it to the bottom, leave a tail so you can hide it later, and go through the first bead edit. And this will be the bottom of our first cube. The first cube, it really doesn't matter where you start in the frame. I don't like to start here at the top because it gets very confusing, because you have to change the direction in 90 degrees to turn around the top of the navette. I also prefer not to start with the second one here, because here you will have a lot of thread. So what I prefer to do is to start with the third one from the top. So this is 1, 2, 3 cube, the third cube from the top or the bottom, whatever. So we will be starting with this one. We will go around and then connect it together. So classic cubic right angle weave. So we have 4 beads here. I'll set this aside. We don't need the crystal for some time either. Then to do the first side, pick 3 11-0s of the same color, go through the same bead from the other side. That's our first side of the cube. Then continue through the second bead of the bottom cube, from the bottom square. Pick 2 11-0s and go through both beads here in a circle manner. So you close it. Then continue into the third bead of the bottom square of the cube. Pick 2 more 11-0s like we did just before, and go through the side and the bottom bead as well. Pull, don't forget to keep the tension. And finally the last side, so going through the last bead of the bottom square, the first bead on the side, and here we already have 3 beads out of 4, so I'm picking only 1 11-0 and going through the side and the bottom one as well. And here we already have a small cube. Now we need to move to the bottom to connect the beads at the bottom. Now we need to move to the top to connect the beads at the top, which then will become the bottom of a next cube. So through the side bead, go up, and then go around through all the beads here at the top without adding anything, just connect them. Like this. So this is the first cube finished. And like this we will continue. So let's move over to the second cube. So the cube number 2. So we already have the bottom here, which was the top from the previous one. So we will start already with 3 beads only, picking up 11-0s, going through the same bead I started from. So that's my first side. I'm going to the next one in the bottom, picking only 2 11-0s, going through the other 2 beads from the side, turning and going over to the third side through the third bead in the bottom, picking up 2 11-0s, going through the other 2 beads in the side. And finally side number 4, so going through the one in the bottom, through one in the side which is already there, and then adding the last one, so picking up only 1 11-0, going through the beads and then up through the side so I can connect the beads at the top. I'm talking and working fast because this is really basic stuff for those who already know cubic right angle weave stitch, which you should if you are trying to attempt this project. This is it. So we have 2 cubes already. Now I will show you how many you will actually need. So on this one side, including the top and the bottom cube, we will have 16 cubes. So this is 16, and then 14 in between on the other one. Or you can look at it, we have one in the top, one in the bottom, 14 cubes in between them. We skipped the first two, so you need to create, oh my math, 12 more, I guess. So let's count. We did this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But the 14 one will be special, we'll be turning by 90 degrees. So let's continue and make 13 in total of these, and then I will catch you up and we will create this one at the top. So just follow, create more of these by this step we just did. And once I have 13 in total, I will show you how to turn and then move over to the other side. So I made 13 cubes, which is up to here, and then I added 14th cube, which is the one which will be here at the top, and it's also the one where we turn 90 degrees to go on the other side. So this one at the end is this one, and I want to show you how I did that. And now I'm just completely entangled in the threads over here. So just a sec, yes. So I didn't finish it completely. I need to do it at the top. So here I need to connect the beads as usual. So the number 14 is made like the regular cube, but when you're finished it, we need to turn. So when you connect the beads here at the top, you don't follow and continue here, but you go down here to the side bead, and from there you will start adding more cubes. So this side is now your bottom. So picking 3 11-ohs, like this, and now doing the regular cubic right angle weave stitch. Like this. Side number 3, 2 more 11-ohs. And finally, last bead. Close up the top. And that's it. So this is the first cube of the other side. So as I said, around the whole side with both cubes at the top you need 16 cubes in total. So you have number 1 and number 2. So you need 15 more, where the number 15 will be this one here at the tip. So continue adding 14 more. The 14th one will be the one where you turn again, and then we will just connect this one at the tip with this one here, which will create the last cube we need here on the side. So continue with the cubic right angle weave stitch, then I'll catch you up again at the tip and we will connect both sides. I have finished this side completely, so now I have 16 of the cubes. Here, including this one, we have 14, which means we are missing 2. This one will be shared, which means we are missing only the connection here, which will be the 15th cube. To connect the both sides, you need to turn 90 degrees as again. So I finished here at the top, connecting the beads there. So I'm turning 90 degrees like here. So going to the bead on the side. And now with the connection, there will be less beads we are adding. So this will be the bottom part and this will be the top. So you need to position properly both sides so nothing is turning. Everything lies flat so you don't twist it like this and twist it like that. So just make sure, I will put it down, that everything is nice and flat, no twists. So first we will connect these two beads at 1, 11, 0 and go through the correct bead here on the other side. So like this, get another bead. So instead of 3 we are doing 1, this one, and this is the number 3, and going back to the bead we started from. So this is it. You can already see the connection. Now we will move over to this bead like you would normally do the cube. So I just moved to the next bead from the bottom. We already have 3 beads here, so out of the 4 right angle weave parts. So 1, 2, 3. So I need only 1 to add. So picking up 1, 11, 0, I'm going to the bead here, and I can already see I will have some struggles. It's a smaller bead, so that's my first, so fingers crossed. I will use pliers and hope I won't, yeah, good, I won't break the bead. That can happen, and some of them, especially the metallics, can have smaller holes. And I continue through the bead on the other side and back to the one I started from. I know it's confusing, that's why I said it's more advanced project and you need to follow the CRAW stitch, because when you know what you're doing, this is just a normal cube as it would be. You are just using the beads that are already there. So I'm going into the next one in the bottom. This is the number 3. Here it's the same like we just did, but it's better, it's visible better because you can see now the beads here. Previously they were hidden inside. So I have 1, 2, 3 beads already there, picking one, the last one, and going here to the top one. Sorry for my thumb there, but it's necessary. So I did this one, went to this one, and now I'm finishing the circle, or square more like, and going back to the bead I started from. Pull, and finally the last side, where we won't be adding anything because everything is already there. 1, 2, 3, 4 beads. We just need to connect them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull, and finally to the bead I started from here, and that's it. You don't need to go here to the now would be top because it's already connected. So just pull, wiggle it in your fingers and keep the tension. So this is it. So let's try the Navette inside, and it fits perfectly. I love it. Just, it sits there. It's so nice. So now we will be continuing with peyote stitch. So we will be working on the inside, so the navette sits inside, and then we will move over to the back, so it's secure also from the back and it sits fully in the bezel. Then we will move to the outside and the ears actually. So let's do the peyote first and finish the actual bezel. So I finished here in the bead on the outside edge. I need to get to one of these 11-ohs, it doesn't really matter which one. So I'm going through this bead, just follow the path of the thread, this bead, and finally this one. Now we will be switching the colors. So I pull, and now I'm taking always one golden 11-oh or gold, one gold 11-oh, and I'm going to the next bead from the next square. So in each gap there's one 11-oh sitting. Don't forget to pull, it will put tension on the beadwork, it will keep it tight, it might even get a bit tighter and smaller, so don't forget to randomly put there you can even hold the navette there, you can even have it lying like this on the bead mat and just put the beads in. I recommend not to pull too much on the thread, so you just keep it clenched all the time. Don't have it too loose though, just something in between. And continue like this. I will show you what to do at the tip here, but otherwise continue like this because we are switching to peyote stitch, so we'll be inserting more beads here as well, and continue adding those gold 11-ohs. So I'm at the tip. I have one gold 11-oh on my thread, and I'm going to the next 11-oh, which means the gold 11-oh will sit here in the little gap right here at the tip. And then continue what you were just doing, so adding one 11-oh into the regular gap. When you reach the tip, again repeat what we just did, adding one 11-oh here in the gap. There will be missing one more 11-oh in the regular peyote, and finally we will step up. So here I am adding the last gold bead. I'm also stepping up through the first one we added at the same time. And pull. Let's put there the crystal. Oh yeah, nice, isn't it? So now we will be switching to 15-ohs in the magenta color to go with the magenta outside bezel. So continue in peyote stitch, pick one 15-oh and go through the next gold 11-oh. Start pulling so there's not much thread showing, and then pick another 15-oh and into another gap, insert another one, and continue like this along the beadwork. I will again show you what to do at the tip. You'll be skipping a few beads there just to keep up the shape in the correct shape. So let's continue with the 15-ohs. So here we are close to the tip. We won't be adding the 15-ohs here on these two 11-ohs close to the golden one at the tip. Just go through the beads to get to the other side. So go through the pink, gold, pink, and again golden 11-oh here without adding anything. Just slide through. like this. And there, when you're on the correct opposite side, continue adding the 15 rows. So, like this, I'll be adding the 15 rows up to here. Then again, go through the gold, pink, gold, and start adding, well, actually add the last 15 row here. And after that, we will turn the beadwork and work on the other side. Here I am adding my last 15 row bead. That's it. Now we need to get to the other side here and do practically the same. So go through this pink 11 row. And now underneath the golden one there's a pink 11 row hiding, so go directly underneath the golden one. You should aim for the bead there, and I'm there. And now go to one of the sides. I like to work in this way. You can you can go whichever way you prefer, doesn't matter. Now insert the crystal. It will stay there from now on because we'll be doing what we did here actually, plus adding more 15 rows. So now when you are starting from one of these pink 11 rows, doesn't matter in which way, pick one 11 row and add it to the gap. So we are copying what we did on the other side, continue along, and after that we'll try to do this. You don't have to cover it fully. I will try to show you how I did that because it can be a bit tricky with different colors. Sometimes it doesn't work out this prettily. So we will do it a little bit maybe by trial and error. I will try to switch beads so you can see the rows in there. That's just not even recommended, that's optional, because here I preferred it to have it in silver, so everything is one color. Here I will try to switch them row by row so you can see how it's zipping along, so it's nice. But up till now we will just continue and do what we did on the other side. That's the first two peyote rows, adding actually here I'm adding the gold and the pink. So let's continue. In the tip we will do the same, adding one gold bead here and go alongside the whole bezel. So after finishing this row, I stepped up to the through the first golden bead I added. Now we'll be working with the 15 rows again. So on this other side you can actually continue and working just full pink, but as I said I am switching, so that's why the golden ones. And now we're switching to 15 rows, so again the pink ones. And unlike on the front side where we didn't do any 15 rows here at the tip, we'll be adding 15 rows in each gap here. So even here and here, so don't forget about it, otherwise it's the same. So continue along, try pull, so everything is nice and tight. And I'll show you what I did at the tip when I'm there. At the tip I picked up one 15 row, went through the gold bead there like this, and I'm picking another 15 row and going through the next gold one, through the next gold bead. So now I have two 15 rows sitting closely next to each other, and then I'm continuing in the peyote stitch. So So like this. And this one as well. So the same, do the same here. And then here again, step up. They will be adding more 15-0s this time. Until here, up till here, we'll be working just with 15-0s. So this is how it looks after adding the 15-0s on the other side as well. If you don't feel adventurous, you can leave it like this, skip the part when I'm covering this back side, and you can then return to the project where I am recreating the ears here for the tulip itself. But if you feel like it, just follow, and we'll be covering the whole back side. So I'm introducing a third color which is not mentioned above because it's completely optional and not necessary. You can just continue with the beads you have, the pink ones. So I just want to show you how we are switching the rows. It's not necessary. You can even go with the gold beads which we'll be using later for the ears, but I went for completely different one to show you. So first what you do, we will be just inserting 15-0s into the peyote caps. Nothing new here, just regular peyote stitch. Like this. The only thing that will change is here at the tip, so I will just quickly get there. I mean, having the backside covered is definitely a very neat thing. It's not necessary, but it protects the beadwork. It especially protects the crystal from being chipped. The worst case scenario, when it, for example, falls down to the floor. It can happen, yes. Happened to me. So I'm here at the tip. Here you can see the two 15-0s there. Now I have one 15-0 on my needle, and I'll be going through both of the 15-0s without anything. So the 15-0 will be sitting here on the side, then there will be nothing in the gap, and then there will be another orange 15-0 which I'm just now picking up. It can be golden, it can be pink, it can be whatever you are using. Here you can see I just went full-blown silver. There's not even the gold visible here. It's just full silver. But I'm now switching colors just for you to see. So continue again with peyote, and then on the other side at the tip, again go through the 15-0s without adding anything and catch up here where you will step up, and then we will be adding another row of the pink 15-0s. So I stepped up to the next row. Now we'll be working with the pink 15-0s again, and you'll see later stripes starting to create or appear. That's why we are changing the colors. So now the pink ones will be sitting on the pink ones. I'm switching the colors because it can happen that the beads move and twist slightly, so they are not opposite each other anymore. For example, like here, it's perfect. They are, if I put needle here, they are like mirrors. But later, when it moves and changes a bit, it slides and shifts, so it can be a bit confusing. That's why changing the colors. So you can see and find the correct beads to connect on the other side. So now do the peyote row with the pink 15-0s. Here at the tip you will insert one pink 15-0 in between these two orange 15-0s as well. So you will have something like this. So go around and insert one pink 15-0 here, and then we will move again to another row with the orange 15-0s. So I stepped up into the next orange row and got to the tip so I can show it to you. So now we have 2 pink 15 rows on top and then 2 orange 15 rows on top of each other. When you're at the tip, you can see here 1, 2, 3 pink 15 rows. So we will go without anything from the first one to the second one in the exact tip. I don't have any bead on my thread, and the same from the third one, from the second to the third one without anything either. So like this, and then continue adding the 15 rows into the gaps, the orange ones. Like this. I can try maybe switch off my headlamp. You can see it better. So like this. So the gold bead is followed by the orange stripes and then the full pink row in between them. So again, I will continue around. The beads started to shift a bit, as I said. You can maybe push and play with the bezel a bit to put them across each other. But that's it. So continue along, then we will again switch to the pink 15 rows. Now the rows are getting smaller, so the work is a bit faster, but still this is a bit tedious. But if you like perfection like me, I'm kind of enjoying it. So let's meet with the pink row again. So I stepped up again, added the 15 rows up to the tip. Now I have one 15 row, the pink one, on my needle. I'm exiting from the last orange 15 row here, and I'll be going to the 15 row on the other side, the orange one again. So now I have 2 15 rows like this, 2 pink ones sitting on top of each other. And then I will again finish the other side, do the same in the other tip part, and then step up to the orange row again and show you how to do it here again. And we meet again at the tip. I'm working on the orange row. I got to the tip and here we are without adding anything. I will again go through the 3 pink beads. So I added nothing in this gap. Again, I'm adding nothing in this gap either. That's the tip. It's like we did here before. Then I pick up orange bead and I continue along again to the other side. It's closing, so it's always lovely to see. So it will be finished quite soon and we can move over to the outside again. So finish the orange row, then again we will work on the pink one. So with the pink row, I'm again at the tip, picking one pink 15 row and going through the orange ones. So from orange one to the orange one. Then pick again 15 row, pink one, and continue adding them into the gaps with the orange 15 rows on the sides. So you can see that's why we are changing the colors, because on this side the bead is slightly more up, so it would be a bit tricky. You can mend it a bit by turning the beadwork, but then it's shifting and it's not very good. So let's keep it flat and use this little trick instead and continue working with the pink 15 rows. Then we will switch to the orange ones again, getting very close to finishing here. And we're getting there. So now I am in the orange row again, and here is a very important place because we'll be introducing even more stitches into it, so a little bit of weird herringbone. So just find the 2 pink opposite 15-0s and go through the other one on the other side. So like this. I will be picking orange 15-0 and going through the other side to the other tip quickly to show you how to do it on the other tip, just to be sure. So I'm just adding the orange 15-0s and one more, and here this and this is the 15-0 I will connect. They are a little bit moved. That's okay, that's fine. This one is the one I'm coming out, and this one the one I need to connect it with. So that's it. Again, adding the last few 15-0s of the orange row on the other side as well. Then step up, and we'll do the same with the pink one. So no more adding beads in the tips, but zipping on the sides. So this is the last bead. It's always a bit tricky. Yes, that's why I like bendy needles. So this is the finished row. Then we will add 1, 2 pink 15-0s, zip here again. So 1, and 2, and here are the 2 orange 15-0s. So turn and go to the one on the other side, then add pink 15-0s in the last gaps as well. Again, step up. As it's closing, it might be a bit tricky to see where you started, so don't forget to step up in the correct spot. And it's almost done, so we will work on this zip, and after that we will move to the outside finally. And now it's time to do the orange row again. Now it can happen that you will have it a little bit different than me. So I have quite a big, still big gap, in the manner of speaking that I want to fit only 1 15-0 here. But I will do it because I think that will work for you the best as well, which means just zipping it with 1 row of orange 15-0s. So let's do it. If not, you will just continue like this, zipping the 2, and then the last row will be just the pink one. It can happen, although they are uniform, things can happen. So I added a 15-0. I'm connecting the pink 15-0s like we did on the sides, and then I'm returning through the orange 15-0 because it will be already shared. The gap there was quite small, so I couldn't fit 2. I'm using just 1 instead. Now I'm going into the pink 15-0, adding an orange 15-0 into the gap. Another one, another one, and the last one. I will be going into the pink 15-0 on the side, then turning, zipping, and then we are zipping at its best. So I'm going back through the orange 15-0 that we just added, but from the other side. Going to the next pink 15-0, then orange, then pink, then orange, pink, and orange again, and that's it. We just want to zip the beadwork. So after zipping the back side, all of the beads available to be zipped there, I knotted here the thread off, and now we will move to the side, and the back side is completely covered. So now if you didn't do the whole back side, you can return to this project and start beading once more with us again. So I added a completely new piece of thread, and we will be starting here at the top, working along, then add cubes again here, like one more row attached to these ones, and then copy what we did on the other side. We'll start here and go around. I believe we will have to add more thread, so doesn't matter, but I added a completely new long one. The place where we will add the ears is 5 cubes from the top. So this one is the tip, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th cube. There we will attach the ear. It doesn't matter from which out of the 4 beads of the square you will start, but I chose to start from this one, which is the outside bead of the 5th cube. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th cube. And from here we will continue with the magenta Miyukis. So now we already have the bottom. So pick 3 magenta 11-0s, or the main color 11-0s, and go to the bead again. Now go to the second bead in the bottom, pick 2 11-0s, and then go through the other 2 beads in the square. Continue to the third 11-0 in the bottom, pick 2 11-0s, go to the remaining 2 of the square, and then the final bead in the square plus the first one on the side, picking up 1 11-0 and going through all of them and to the top. Again, regular CRAW, so connecting the beads on top. There's a thread showing, just a sec, sorry. Yeah, so I have an eye here, a loop, so I will have to take care of it, I guess, probably off camera. Anyway, just do regular CRAW, and here we will turn 90 degrees again here, but up till here you will make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 more cubes plus this one makes 6, and then we will turn again and continue down. I will take care of this, make 5 more cubes, then we will turn together and continue here. I sorted out my little problem, and I have now 6 cubes here, and we are ready to go 90 degrees in the different direction. So I was here, I ended up in the perfect bead. If you didn't, just get into the bead here which is the one going into this direction. So get there. And from there, it looks like I would create a cube, just next one, like you would, but instead I won't turn it up, I will turn it to the side. So instead of going into this bead, I'm just going into this one. And from there I'm picking 2 beads, getting through the beads, the 2 beads that are already there, and just building the cube on the side. Now facing down back towards the crystal. So continuing in the bottom beads, picking up 2 11-0s, and finishing the cube here. And I will be adding more. So we have 1 2, which I'm already making, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13, and then the 14th cube will be already connected to the bezel of the crystal. So make in total 13 of the cubes here. Then I will catch you up, and it will get a bit complicated, but I'm sure we will manage. So 13 cubes in total, and then let's meet up again. So if you have 13 cubes like me, get into the bead, which is again on the inside. I had to change the direction I was weaving because it was against my preferred direction. So I traveled through the beads and got here into this one. And now you'll be connecting this loose end to the bezel here. You'll be connecting it to the 3rd cube from the tip here. And the way we have it like now, it means that this will be the bottom, of course. So put on only 1 bead, 1 11-0. And this is my 3rd cube. And I will be going, I will show it like this, 1 2 3. This is my 3rd cube, and I want to connect it. I will show it like this. So this is the equivalent of the cube number 4, like this, and I want to make the cube number 3, and I want to use this bead here, which will be shared. So like this, it will be smooshed a bit, it won't be a perfect cube. Now put on 1 more 11-0 and go to the bead you started from. So like this. It's a bit weird, but bear with me. Continue to the 2nd bead in the bottom. Put on 2 11-0s and get through the Miyuki here on the side. And through the bead you started from. Bead number 3 in the bottom. 1 2 Miyuki 11-0s and go through the 2 on the side. And now we have only 1 bead to add, so I'm continuing to the 1 in the bottom, the 1 on the side. Now add 1 11-0 and go through the remaining beads, through the side up, and now connecting the 4 beads, which means this one which is in the bezel already. Sorry for the loose end, but I prefer to keep it there. And also the rest at the top. Finishing in the one which is shared. Okay, I will get the loose end out. I want to hide it because I wasn't sure which bead will I need or not, so I prefer to keep it like this. And this is the first bead connected. Then we need to add another cube here, which will be using more of the beads, and the same here. So I will show you that now. Now it means that we will use more beads that are already there from the original bezel. So continue to the side like you would in the regular cross stitch. There is one bead already here, which is the one from the cube, from the second cube on the side. So pick on 2 beads, because we already have the front here, which is the one in the bezel already. So 2 beads, so we are already doing a second side. 2 beads, we have a square done, so back to bottom and to the bead number 3 in the bottom. Now pick again 2 11-ohs, going through the bead on the side. Now I am using nothing from the original bezel. Now to the last side. Here I am going through the bottom. Now I am using the bead from the original bezel, which was on the outer edge, so equivalent to this one from the second cube. Picking up 1 11-oh, which is the one bead missing, and going back to the beads to finish the cube, and finally up and connecting all the beads in the top, which means you need to go inside through the share bead. It's not visible, but it's the equivalent of this one here on the other side. And connecting the beads at the top, finishing in the one that's there. Now we will add another cube, which will be here, then one which will create the tip once more, and then back to do that again. So let's continue again. So I'm going here to the side once more, picking up 2 beads once more, creating the second side because we already have the front, which was from the original bezel. Going back to the bottom, now to the side, picking up 2 11-ohs like you would from a normal right angle weave. And now the last side, so 1 bead from the bottom, next bead from the original bezel, so one of the beads at the tip, picking up 1 11-oh and going through the 3 beads again and up here. And now again connect all the beads in here to finish the CRAW square at the top. Okay, so this was adding the ear to one side. We need to add here a cube at the tip and then go back. So we have 2 cubes which are connected to the tip and the second from the top. and then the side, then the cubes on the side, the first ones, they will have a shared tip. And then again the third one will share only one bead, and then we will move again from the crystal, creating an ear. Now please make one regular CRAW cube, so starting with 3 beads, going down through this one, and which will be the tip. And then I will show you again. I hope I won't break any beads here. And then we will turn 90 degrees, and I will show you again how to connect it on the bottom on the other side. So after adding the cube, I finished up here. You can really start from whatever place at the top here. It really doesn't matter. That's the beauty of CRAW. But I ended up here, so to turn, you need to be in the one bead on this side. So that will be our bottom now. So as I started from here, just go there through the beads and start from the same place. Add 3 11/0s. And like we did here with the 90 degrees turn, I'm adding 3 beads. They would be sticking out here, right? But I will bend it. So it's another side, and I will go through the beads here to do this side again. Sorry, to do this side instead. And which means I have 1, 2, 3 beads already. So I'm adding only 1 and going through this side, and now I need to get to this bead actually on the other side, because we already have the second side here. Well, third actually. 1, 2, 3, which is the one in the bezel. But I have a logistic problem that my hole here is already full of thread. So I'm really not sure if I can get through the bead. So I will cheat a bit. And that's what I do with CRAW if I don't have the hole. So I will just go and not go through the bead here, but underneath the thread, inside and through the inside of the cube, and then getting through the bead on the other side. I can do it here because it will be hidden, and that's fine. I just need to finish the side here, so I'm going up through the side bead, picking up 1 11/0 and finishing the side. So this was my little cheat. You don't go through the beads, you just go through the space, making sure that the thread you are going with will be held through something else. So this is completely fine. Nothing structural, nothing bad happened. So yay! And this is the first cube of this side. So now just connect the beads at the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the start again. I know this is crazy, and especially like this on a video. Just picture you have 2 cubes and you need to merge them. So they will share one wall, right? So the wall is already there. So you are just moving alongside the wall, the sides. The sides, of course, like the edges are the beads, right? So you need to just picture it in your head. Use something, use children toys if you need that. Just picture it, stack them on top of each other. You can draw the beads there even, if it helps. That's the trick with the CRAW. You just need to know which walls, which sides, which edges are shared, and then you can do it. So now we will do the second cube. So as I'm starting from here, I need to put on 3 11/0s. going through the bead. Then on this side, so I already have this one and this one from the bezel there, picking up 1 11/0, going through the 2 beads. Now I would continue to the bottom, and here I can go with my thread perfectly through the bead there, so I'm not cheating, I'm going through the bead. And the side is already done, is this one inside from the original bezel, so I will just continue to the last bead of the bottom. And then up here through the side bead, we are creating the last one, so picking up only 1 bead. Up here and then connect. Oops, there's something happened. Yes, through here and here, sorry. And then I'm connecting this, this, and this, and bead number 4, just the top, just the regular top. And now what's nice is that we are at the cube number 3, which is the one leaning outside from the crystal finally. So you have 1 2 3 and 1 2 3 of the original bezel, so it means the only bead that will be shared is this one that is already there, so you need to start leaning outside. So I will show you how to do that. I would say in this direction is a bit easier than from this one, so let's do it, and then finally the second ear will happen. So like we did before, pick 3 11/0 as we are starting again on this side. But now we are leaning away, so I'm going through the bottom, through the second bead of the bottom, but I am not picking up this one because we are leaning away. So I am just doing regular CRAW. So I'm picking 1 2 beads, 2 11/0, like on the second side of the CRAW, and going through the 1 2 which are already there. Now it will be looking a bit smoosh, but that's okay. And that's it. Now you need to go through the bead of the next, well, the next bead in the bottom, and we won't be using the side here. You need to create it yourself. So pick 2 11/0 as you would during standard CRAW, creating the side. We are using the side bead, of course, here, the one we just added. And now we need to go once more through the bead there, and finally turning it the last side. So this is the last bead of the bottom, 1 bead on the side, picking up 1 bead and then going through the other one on the other side that was just added. It's a bit smooshed. This 1 2 3 4 beads are the ones from the side, and back down to the bottom and up through the side, and finally 1 2, connecting 3 4, connecting the 4 beads at the top, finishing in the one I started from. That's it. I will move one more just for my personal sake, because that's how I like to start, from here, not from the side, but from the one side which is like on the flat side. So I will move one more. And now it's again the time when you need to make 13 cubes, like here. So add 13 more cubes, then we will again turn 90 degrees, adding the 6 here, and then the ears will be finished, I mean the main frame. After that is the embellishment time. We will be adding the seed beads on the edges and on the sort of inside edges. We'll be mixing 15/0 and 11/0 to help the frame to keep its shape. but for now make 13 cubes on top of this one. It's easy, you just follow the bottom here and create 13 cubes. And hello again after some time. So I have 13 cubes in total that are free from this bezel. So if you want to see the whole side here, it's 17 because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 which are sort of or fully attached to the original bezel, and 13 which are fully free. Now we need to bend again to get this part of the ear. So I started from the inside bead. So if I put it like this, it's the bead here towards the original bezel. I started the way I would do the cube again, but I won't be having it like this. I will fold it like we already did twice and continue here on the side. So now I add 2 11-0s and do it like this, and creating the first cube on this side. We will have again 6 in total here. So this is number 1, number 2. Make 3 more, so you will have 5. And at the 6th one we will attach together here. So make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in total. So now we are working on the second one. Then I will catch you up, and then the frame is finally finished and we can move over to the embellishments. So I have 5 beads, 5 cubes here, and we need to connect it to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again from the 5th from the top, which is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will be like this. So my thread is coming out of this one. So I need to put on 1 11-0 and go here. So that's the first side connected. Then I pick 1 more 11-0 and go back. Now I will follow here because that's my bottom. So I'm going to the second bead there, putting on 2 11-0s, going to this one in the bezel. Oh, so sorry, actually I said 2 11-0s. Put on only 1 11-0 because the top one will be shared, of course. So 1 only, sorry. 1 11-0 only. Now to the top, which is replacing the other one from the second side. Now through here, that's already there, and through the bottom again. Move to the third bead in the bottom. Pick on again only 1 11-0, then find the correct bead on the other side, which is this one. It's the one from, of course, the bezel. Back through the side here, back to the bottom, and finally the last bead of the bottom. We won't need to add anything because everything is there. So we are connecting these 4 beads. Like this. So just circling around, returning to the bottom. Which means the frame is finished, and now we will move over to the embellishments. So we will go alongside on the outer edge first, adding 1 11-0, 1 golden 11-0 here into the edges. So let's do that, and after that we will do the inside ones. So circle through the beads, so your thread is coming out of this one, the first cube on the and the bead on the top of it. On the outside edge, and put on one golden 11-0 and go to the next bead, placing the bead into the gap, and like this, next one and next one and next one, going around the whole thing. Here at the tip there also will be one. Everywhere in each gap here, including here at the tip, will be one golden 11-0, including here and here, and here we will be finished. Then we will do the same on the outside here on the back, and then finally move inside. So continue adding beads into each gap, which is quite satisfying, I must say, and then I'll catch you up and we move to the back. So I have lined all the beads along. Don't pull too much because you don't want to shape in a different way the outside frame. If you pull too much, it gets twisted and stuff. You just want to fill in the gaps with the beads. So I finished here in the bead I started from. Now move here to the back through the pink one. Then continue. You can do whatever direction. I will go to the right. So I will go in the direction of the tip because I want to use it later. When I'm done with this, I want to get easily here in this direction to the tip, so we can add a loop there and I don't have to shuffle around and stuff with the thread. So I'm going to the right, which for me is going to the tip. So picking up one golden 11-0, going here as well, and like this again, alongside the whole beadwork. After that I'm prepared to do the loop, and then we will move to the inside parts, which are a bit tricky, especially here where you have to move with the needle in very weird directions. So let's do the outside first and then add the loop. I finished on the other side as well. I finished here as where we started, and now I will get, as I said, through the beads to the tip, where we will add a loop. You can use a wire guard as well instead of a loop, but what I don't like about this idea that it's metal, it can change colors when we already spent quite some time on this. So I would prefer to go with the Duracoat beads, which we are using. Sorry, I'm having a hard time to go through this bit. Yes. Okay. So put on 1, 2, 3 11-0s, go around. Now go through the first 2 beads into the center one. Then pick 1 11-0 and go through the bead in the front at the tip, and then put on 1 more 11-0 and go through the top one. We have a nice little roof shaped base for our loop, and there you can add as many beads you want for the loop. So I would go with 4 to make a small nice loop. You can also just leave it like this, so we have something looking like this. You can make bigger one, so I'll show you. Let's go back, put 2 more. I would recommend adding on even numbers, so with this one in total you have an odd number. And I think I will in the end go with this larger amount of beads. So we have 1, 2, 3, 7 in total. And go around just to strengthen the loop. I think one more time just to be sure. Excuse me. And then down to the loop through the beads here. I will knot off the end of my thread because I have a short one, and then I will show you how to do the insides. So let's work on the inside. Get your thread so that it's coming from the bead here. I hope you can see it. It's the first bead on the inside edge. And now we will be switching between 11/0 and 15/0. We will start with one golden 11/0 to fill in the first gap. After that, we switch to 15/0 to make the gaps on the inside smaller. So add one 15/0 into this gap, another one, the next one, number 3 to this one, then add 15/0 also here, and from here add 9 more 11/0 into 9 more gaps, 9 more 15/0, so 15/0 again, 15/0 into 9 gaps. After that we will switch to 11/0 again, and I will show you how to do that and then work on the inside here. So add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 15/0 here. After 9 15/0 we'll be switching to 11/0 again. So pick one 11/0, go into the next gap, 11/0 number 2, next gap, and now we will turn. So pick one 11/0 and go into the pink 11/0 on the bezel side, the one that is just across the one you are coming out of. It will sit into the big gap there, and from there just use 11/0 in each gap. Just use 11/0 in each gap until you reach the tip here. After that, turn on the other side and do the same. So you will start with one 11/0 here in the first gap at the top. Then you will insert 1, 2, 3, 4 15/0, including the one in the bend here. After that, 9 11/0, then 9 15/0. After that, 1, 2 11/0, 1 11/0 that is turning and going into the original bezel, and after that only 11/0, and that's it. So we are just copying what we just did. I would recommend cutting the thread again, or if you feel more like it, go through the beads here on the edge because there's usually the most space available. Get to the other side and do the same, fill in the gaps, and after that the pendant is finally finished. Now it's finally a little bit more repetitive, so I can show you I can show it to you once, and it's easy and you can just repeat it. So continue, just skip this one, the gap here, and just go through the beads without anything, because that's a quite small gap and I don't feel like fitting a bead in there. So just continue adding 11/0 and then copy this front on the back and here and here. So continue, and after that the crystal tulip pendant is finished. And this is the crystal tulip pendant when it's finished. So this is how it looks from the other side in the striped way we did. This is the silver. I didn't do the 11 O's here. This was just a prototype, so I finished it here, and it looks much nicer. So this is it. As I said, it's an advanced project, so stick with me. If you had some issues, just ask them in the comments. I will try to answer, and hopefully all will be the best. So thank you very much for watching my tutorial for this crystal tulip pendant. I'll be looking forward to seeing your pictures in our beading and jewelry making group on Facebook. And if you need any of the supplies, you can go below the video into the description box, and there are the links if you need to purchase some seed beads or crystals. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.